Forget the daily noise. SOFI is at a pivotal point on the long-term chart and a massive move is coming. The question is, which way will it go? In this video, we're decoding the institutional smart money using the options flow. I'm also going to show you the exact options contracts that reveal the long-term price target, and we'll also be looking at the daily chart to gauge the next big move on SOFI. So if you want to get the real SOFI forecast, combining technicals with big money bets, you need to watch every second of this video. So without further ado, let's jump into the full SOFI analysis. So first of all, let's begin with the daily chart here of SOFI. Currently, the stock is trading at around $26 per share, and the stock is doing quite well here year to date. It's outperforming the market. It's up 75%. The financials of the company are looking quite well here on the annual. They're increasing. Their net margins are actually here becoming positive for the first time here of 2024. And quarterly, they're seeing very, very good results here, although they are seeing a decrease in net income. If you look at their earnings over the past couple of quarters, they've been beating every single estimate that the analysts have expected. For example, the last quarter of Q3, which was the last earnings report, they had an estimate of 8 cents per share, and they actually beat the street, coming in at 11 cents per share here. The current volume is less than the average volume has been over the past 30 days, yet the market cap is still at around 33 billion. There's been some positive news surrounding the stock recently, as JP Morgan did increase its price target for SOFI to 31 from 21, while keeping it as a neutral rating amid still concerns over potential growth slowdowns in the FinTech sector. Now, the technicals are saying that is a sell, but analyst ratings expect that one-year price target should be at around 27.50, which is a 3% forecast increase. Although, we'll be looking at the chart here. So, if you guys saw my last video, which was on 3 months ago, we did say that SOFI was looking a little bit overextended. And the reasoning is as follows. So, using Fibonacci retracements, we can kind of gauge the momentum here, right? So, right now, the price action is between the red, right? This red shaded shows that the overall price action is a little bit overextended, and that is the reasoning as to why we have been overall kind of consolidating here and kind of flat over the past couple, of months. Ever since September, we haven't really gone up towards the price targets, right? So this does show that there's a little bit of selling pressure coming in that is kind of, taking over the buyers. Right at this point, the buyers are still present, but they are unable to bring the price even higher. Now, what I really want to note here is that even though we are seeing this selling pressure here coming in from the buyers at around these zones, maybe around $32, the buyers are still present. As we've seen the last pullback, which was a little bit deeper, we saw an overall support at this overall level here of $24.61, which is where I believe the buyers will be found next time. So if the price keeps going below the 50 MA, which is right here, and we keep seeing a decline, I believe that this area is going to be a very important area where the buyers will emerge. So I believe that the levels are support of $25, $24.43, as well as $24.21, which was the last support where this hammer candle held. Now, when you guys may be asking, well, why do you see the stock currently consolidating? Well, it's because if we use an anchored VWAP to plot from overall this high, we see that we are still below it. We'll put it as red. So sellers, right, are still in control of this name from the high that was formed here around $32. We did see a little bit of a bid. Buyers did come in here, right, at this area. But the seller pressure was just too much and they pushed the price down even more. So this does signal that there are some buyers present that are still trying to hold and break above the seller's resistance above this general zone. Now, the overall market has been seeing some concerns. If you look, for example, at the VIX, we have been seeing that the VIX has been rising over the past couple of overall months. We've been seeing that the VIX has been rising quite steadily, almost reaching 30, which is pretty much a area of concern. Last time we reached above 30 was the overall April lows, which was a pretty good time to buy every stock around a dip. But we are seeing that there are concerns in the market, right? The current fear and greed index is currently at fear, and it does show that there are some concerns. So I wouldn't be surprised if SOFI does tend to, sell off, and you may find even a deeper pullback towards $20.44 here. Now, the reasoning as to why I'm saying this is because this was a prior area of resistance, right? The sellers that came in from that high, we'll put it as red, should now act as levels of support. And we had that happen exactly here, right? We bid up, we came back at around this zone, and we found buyers right below there, right below that overall anchored VWAP, because they found it at a discount. right? So this does show that this level is going to be a very important hold. Now, we always have to use past data to kind of, deeper our analysis. So the last time we had a sell-off, we reached a high here on December of 2023 of $10. Then we pulled back all the way towards $6, which is a pretty, big move. So using that same overall thesis, I believe that we are on that same area now. So we are reaching, like I said, just like now, the overall areas that are saying that the stock is overbought or overextended towards the upside, right? Which is around here, right there. So we did see a retracement all the way back here on the Fibonacci's towards the 0.618 level, and that is where we found buyers at the low that was formed here on April of 2025. So if we use that same logic, I'm not saying that will happen again, but it's very likely that SOFI may sell off because it's a very volatile name. If we use that same logic here and project that over the next couple of months, we see that the next level, the 0.618, would be a decline all the way to $14, which is a pretty deep decline. That would pretty much trigger a very deep sell-off, and that would be around a 45% decline here. Although this does form confluence with this last area of resistance, which we blew. Obviously, we found lots of buyers, so this would kind of be a retest of that resistance level. Now should be acting as a level of support, but we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves, as this is going to be a just in case, right? So it's going to be one level of support, two level, third level, and if it's a very deep sell-off, the current market does sell off, let's say for example we're overextended, then I would expect SOFI to over time go towards $14.43, but I still maintain my price target that the stock should be trading above $34.18 here on SOFI. So now that we've realized the price potential on this name, let's take a closer look at the derivatives market, which is the options market, that tells us where the stock has the potential to go. So currently we have the nearest expiration date being the 19th of December, with around 4 days till the expiration date. We do have a higher call volume than put volume, which is overall bullish. Now we do see this pattern where the call volume is higher than the put volume for a couple of weeks, all the way until we bump into the 9th of January, where we have pretty much a put wall, where we have more put volume than call volume. So this is saying that there are a lot of people betting that the stock will see an overall decline by this date, right? And it also does show that after until like the 16th of January, we will see a higher call volume, and then again on the 23rd we see higher put volume than call volume. So these three important dates here, the 9th of January all the way towards the 23rd of January of next year, does show that we will be seeing some indecision on SOFI stock, right? Because there is still that nervousness around the general market, and like I said, these fintech stocks are generally the ones that sell off more because they are highly volatile stocks, right? Now, after these important confusing dates here, we do see that the call volume is now higher than the put volume all the way towards, we see keep scrolling here. So there's more bullishness being priced in. It's just these 3 dates here, from the 9th all the way towards the 23rd, where we will see some indecision, maybe some selling, but after that I do see longer term upside here based off of the options market, where the call volume is higher than the put volume here for SOFI. So let's bring it all back together. The long-term SOFI chart confirms we're sitting right on that critical support level, which is setting the foundation for the next major breakout. At the same time, the options flow is currently confirming that bullish bias, although with some short-term confusion. Now, remember that risk management is very important and that this is not a guaranteed move, but the data from the technical structure to the smart money is pointing towards that further upside. Now, if you found this breakdown valuable of SOFI's chart and the options flow, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and let me know down in the comment section your price targets for SOFI. As always, thanks for watching. And remember, don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.